Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel EduTR. In the last lecture, I have already told you one of the feature selection technique which was VIF. In today's lecture, we will discuss more feature selection techniques. Before that, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel EduTR for the most recent updates. Okay, so we guys were working with the Boston dataset. Let's continue with that. So the first feature selection method that I am using here is your Pearson correlation. In this method, filtering is done using the correlation matrix and it is commonly done using a Pearson correlation. So first let me tell you that what is correlation. A correlation coefficient is a numerical measure of some type of correlation, meaning a statistical relationship between the two variables. It is a statistical technique that can show whether and how strongly two pairs are related. A correlation coefficient has a value between -1 to 1. A value which is closer to 0, it implies a weaker correlation. Exact 0 implying no correlation. A value which is closer to 1 implies stronger positive correlation. A value which is closer to -1, it implies stronger negative correlation. So here what we have done is that for the entire data set, we have checked the correlation and stored it in the variable core. And then we have given anode true. Here anode true is nothing but the annotations that you give on your heat map. And CMAP is used for the color map. Here the darker color means it is nearer to 1. If it's lighter, it is close to -1. Two darker and the two lights are the ones we are interested in. Here, as we know that price is a target variable, so we can see how each feature is related with the target variable. And here I have kept the threshold as 5. 0 to 5 and 0 to -5 is the moderate range. No correlation will be nearer to 0. So we will only take the values having correlation with the target variable above 5. Relevant features are only having features which are above 0.5 with the target variable. So here you can see these three variables, which is RM, PT ratio and LSTAT. These are the variables that is having a high correlation with the price variable. So these three are the variables that we got which are highly correlated with the target variable. So there should be high correlation, but remember that there should be no multicollinearity. These three are predicting the price, but there can be correlation within themselves, which is the case of multicollinearity, which we don't want. So we want our x1, x2 and x3 to be correlated with y, but we don't want x1 to be correlated with x2 and x3. That is, we don't want multicollinearity. So here are the three variables which is highly correlated with my price. So anyhow, LSTAT is the variable which is highly correlated with the price. Anyway, I will take the LSTAT variable. In the next step, what I am doing is that I am checking for the multicollinearity. So LSTAT, however, we will take because it is highly correlated with price. But now in the next step, we will check LSTAT with RM and LSTAT with the PT ratio. So here I have calculated the correlation between LSTAT and PT ratio, which is 0.37. So it is very less. We can take them both. Here I have checked with RM and LSTAT. So here it is high, 0.61. So what you can do is that you can drop RM. So the next method that we are going to study here is the backward elimination method. Backward elimination is a feature selection technique while building a machine learning model. It is used to remove those features that do not have a significant effect on the dependent variable or the prediction of output. Backward elimination or backward deletion is the reverse process. All the independent variables are entered into the equation first and each one is deleted one at a time if they do not contribute to the regression equation. Now this is the code for the backward elimination. Now let's try to understand that what's happening here and how we are able to get the best features from the backward elimination method. What we do here is we eliminate the features having the p-value greater than 0.05 and accept the ones which is less than 0.05. So here we have done cols is equal to list of x dot columns. Here p max is just a dummy variable which is having a value as 1. Now we have given the condition while the length of cols is greater than 0. This condition will run until this is satisfied, which means it will run for all the columns. Now p is just the empty list that I have given here. Then what we are doing is we are pulling all the columns from our data x into this x1. x1 is not having a constant for OLS and we want constant as we have done in the previous lectures. So here what I have done is model is equal to sm.ols and pass the parameters y and x1 to my model, and then I have fitted this. So now what I am doing here is p is equal to pd.series model.pvalues.values 1 colon index is equal to cols. We are selecting all the p values here from the model. Dot values means the array that is stored in the form of series, and index as the name of the columns, and values as the p values. Now here p max is equal to max of p. Whichever is having the high value of p is stored in the p max. Now what I have done is p.idx max. Now idx max returns with the index of max value of p. That value is stored in the feature with p max. Now just see here the next line. If p max is greater than 0.05, then cols.remove feature with the p max. If it's true, then cols is just the list where you have your feature names, so that the features we are removing which is having a highest p max and its value is above than 0.05. This is how we are removing all the columns one by one which are not important. If the value is less than 0.5, that is your else condition, then it is a break. That is, it will come out of your while loop. So this is how I have created a simple function to extract some of the important features in my dataset. In the next tutorial, we will study about the logistic regression. Till then, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel EduDR. Thank you and keep learning.